Alright everyone, well, now that we summed up the year 2021 with the best movies, best video games, most underrated movies, it's time to take the next step into 2022, looking into that year and the movies that I'm most anticipating. And like video games, of course, they're always subject to change release date-wise. And don't be surprised if other movies end up on this list from last year, or the previous 2 years, I should say, because, well, a lot of delays that still are taking place and ripple effects that it caused on other movie release dates, which could happen again otherwise, but let's hope for the best out of this year. We're getting there, we're getting better, back to normality. So, anyway, my most anticipated movies of 2022, starting with number 22, Death on the Nile, a sequel follow-up to the 2017 remake, The Murder on the Orient Express, which I actually thought was a pretty underrated remake. It had a pretty good director as well as the actor, same guy who plays the main character detective, and he's back at it again with this one, this time on a steamliner, and a bunch of new cast members, including Gal Gadot, who you probably best known as Wonder Woman, is going to be in this, as well as a bunch of other new faces. So I'm interested to see how this will turn out. I'm expecting lots of detective work, a real thinker movie, and same kind of stuff as the last movie, so not high expectations, but that's why it's this low on the list. Number 21, Moonfall. Yes, Roland Emmerich, the master of destruction, end of the world, apocalypses, destruction of landmarks, is back at it again. This time it looks like, judging by the title, that the moon is going to collide with the Earth. I'm interested to see how this will work out, and I know this guy doesn't exactly have the best track record. I mean, he's all about the action, he's all about making good popcorn entertainment, and I know his movies are very hit or miss. So, yeah, I enjoyed Independence Day for what it was, the first one only, as well as The Day After Tomorrow. They're cheesy, and I'm expecting this one to be at least good cheesy fun. So, don't have my expectations high on this one. I'm just hoping it's not aliens involved with it or anything, but they have a pretty good line of cast members. I mean, you got Patrick Wilson and so forth, so yeah, give us some good action entertainment. That's all we ask for out of this one. Number 20. Uncharted, yes, based off of the exclusive Sony franchise, which has been critically acclaimed for the most part, and I sure enjoyed the hell out of it, comes an action-adventure, almost looks like an Indiana Jones-ish type thing. I mean, we kind of seen this before with the Tomb Raider movies based off of the games. They were cheesy, but kind of fun. The same thing with the reboot, and that's what I'm kind of expecting out of this. It's a movie based off a video game. What more are you really asking for? But hey, you got Mark Wahlberg with the big guns, you got Spider-Man's Tom Holland. What more can you ask for out of this? I'm not asking for a lot, I'm just asking for some good fun entertainment. That's it. Not expecting a lot out of it. Number 19, Halloween Ends. Yes, the third and final sequel of this trilogy, which, yeah, I know was a little bit of a mess considering the 2018 film called Halloween, bearing the same exact name to the original 1978 film, even though it is a sequel and it tries to act like all the other sequels that followed it originally never happened, as well as the remakes. And yeah, I definitely can agree why it was rather mixed bag compared to the 2018 film, which was very well received. The kills were really good, but the character is not as good, and obviously it was setting up for another sequel, which is this one, which I knew about the whole time. I mean, it's pretty obvious, like most other slasher films, Michael Myers ain't gonna die, and this is the conclusion right here. One will stand and one will fall, so give us a lot of blood, give us a lot of kills, give us Halloween the way we remember it. Number 18, Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore. Yes, the third and I'm assuming final entry in this Harry Potter prequel trilogy, which, I'll be clear, I did enjoy the first one, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, that came out in 2016. It was simple to follow, had likable characters, and it was very enjoyable and action-packed and so forth. But then the second one, The Crimes of Grindelwald, that came out in 2018, kind of left me a little confused and rather bored at some parts. I don't know, it just wasn't really my cup of tea. I don't know if the fact that they try to throw too much in there and make it too much like connecting to the Harry Potter series, which I know it's trying to, but I feel like they just didn't do it right and it ended up becoming very underwhelming. And that's what I'm hoping this one improves over. I know Johnny Depp as one of our main villains of the film was not very well received, and I know he was criticized for his performance. I know his films lately have not been the greatest. He's kind of going downhill a little bit. So hopefully they fix this to make it a better trilogy, the same way they did with Star Wars Episode 3. have us acknowledge it as a good prequel, because really, that would be a shame if they throw this idea down the toilet. I mean, make it more like the first one. That's all I'm asking. Don't overcomplicate the plot. Just give us the Harry Potter prequel series that we wanted. Make it less like the last one, more like the first one. Please. Number 17. Minions, The Rise of Gru. Yes. I've mentioned this one for 2 straight years, and you have to wait yet another year for this one. And do I have to say much more? It's a sequel to the prequel, Minions, which came out in 2015. It's all about how the Minions are with Gru and all this stuff, and we've seen the trailers for over a year now. So, and I know many people may find the Minions a bit annoying, but I think they're funny and cute, but occasionally annoying. But come on. Who doesn't want to watch this? Even after waiting all this time, I haven't forgotten about this one, trust me. Number 16, Lightyear. Yes, a prequel spin-off about Buzz Lightyear, the famous Toy Story character, which I will admit I'm not too crazy about the different looks that it has on his face and everything like that. I am skeptical on how this will turn out exactly and connect with the Toy Story franchise. I'm not sure if it is supposed to or not, but it looks pretty good, you know. It's about Buzz Lightyear, he goes into space and so forth, so who knows? Disney can pull the hat trick right here. Number 15, Turning Red. Yes, from one Disney animated movie to another, this one looks to be about a young girl who turns into a big fluffy panda beast every time she gets excited. So it looks to be like a bit of an emotional type of ride, and a comedic one, hopefully. Yeah, it looks to be kind of a mixture of Inside Out meets the Hulk and so forth, so I'd be interested to see how this will turn out. Not too crazy about the music selection in the trailer, but I'm sure the movie itself will be much better than that. So, again, don't let us down, Disney. We know you can do it with these animated movies. I mean, you barely struck out these past couple of years. Number 14, Morbius. Yes, another one postponed from last year, a Marvel comic movie by Sony, which, of course, exists in the same universe as all the other MCU films, I'm assuming, because he mentions Venom in the trailer, judging by that. And it stars Jared Leto as our main hero, I'm assuming. He's a doctor, and he's, of course, a vampire-ish type character. I mean, he has a taste for blood, right? And, well, I'm not having high expectations on this one. I know Jared Leto is very hit or miss with some of his performances. I mean, he's very strange, but after his portrayal of the Joker, I'm kind of interested to see how this will turn out. So I'm kind of scratching my head, but I think he can pull this one off. I mean, I know the first Venom movie was not the greatest, not to try to compare it to that, but the second one was much better, so I'm hoping it goes more in that path. And, well, don't let us down, Sony. That's all we can ask for. Number 13, Scream. Yes, that's the title of the movie, even though it's technically the 5th entry in the franchise. What the hell is up with that? They did the same thing with 2018's Halloween, which is a sequel to the original 78, but bears the same exact title name. And, well, I don't get it either. But anyway, this is a sequel slash reboot because it brings in some new faces who are falling victim to this whole Ghostface thing, you know, the phone calls, the threats, and then the kills. And we have the original actress, as well as the original actor, who plays the police officer, making their return in here, telling their experience and passing the torch on to a new generation. Okay, fair enough. I'm expecting to see some good horror, suspense, and all I can ask anyone is, what is your favorite scary movie? Yep, I'm expecting to hear that plenty of times in this film. So, yep, Ghostface is back, and I'm not sure if this is the last time, and I know the 4th film wasn't exactly the best entry in the series, but I'm hoping this one can actually be fun, and, well, I grew up with these original films, so I'm expecting it to be good and refreshing, but not as good as the first one. You can't beat the first one. Just give us some good entertainment and some good horror and scares there. Number 12, The Flash. Yes, The Flash is finally getting his movie after all these years, and I'd be interested to see how this turns out. He's supposed to be played by, yes, the same actor from the Justice League movies, even though, of course, the original theatrical one wasn't the best, but thankfully the Zack Snyder cut was a lot better. So, give us a good story and background information about this character, how he became the Flash, and I guess his family, his father, who, judging by the Justice League movies, both versions, is in prison. That's all we ask for. Good comic book movie, some good action entertainment. Number 11, Super Mario Bros. The movie. Okay, I'll be clear, I was not a fan of the 1993 live-action one, and I know it has its fan base, but I'm sorry, I just couldn't get into this one. sounds like I'm being a little too judgmental on this one and nitpicking, being that it has basically nothing to do with the video game, but it's just my opinion, people. And I was hoping for possibly a reboot in animated form, and it sounds like this could work. Yes, it's being done by Universal and Illumination, which I do find funny with Universal how their theme parks are getting the Nintendo attractions. I guess there must be some kind of a connection or paradox there. But yeah, I'm hoping they don't minionize this, which you are kind of expect a bit of a couple of Easter eggs in this, which they do with a lot of their films. I mean, Disney Pixar does the same thing. And yes, believe me, I am iffy on some of the casting choices that they put in for the voice talents, especially Chris Pratt as Mario. I do think Jack Black isn't a bad choice to play King Bowser. I think he'll do that role well, and as well as Charlie Day as Luigi, and of course Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach. And even Donkey Kong is going to be voiced by Seth Rogen. I'm interested to see how that's going to connect to the film. And I mean, I know Donkey Kong technically is the one that started the whole Mario franchise, because that's where Mario started in as Jumpman. But yeah, I think they could have maybe casted somebody better as Mario, like maybe Danny DeVito or something. But okay, it could work, maybe not, but I'm just hoping it at least does better and at least entertains me more than the 93 film. I mean, Super Mario Bros. Was made to be animated, so let's hope for the best out of this one. Number 10, Black Adam. Yes, a spin-off, sequel, prequel film that exists in the same universe as the DC Comic Extended Universe, mainly in Shazam. I mean, he's Shazam's archenemy, and he's played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Yeah, that's actually not a bad casting choices, and the trailer actually does look really promising, so I'm interested to see how this will turn out. I mean, DC Comic movies have been hit or miss over the years, but I think this one can do it. Number 9, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Yes, this first Sonic movie was a huge surprise for all of us, even if we weren't fans of the Sonic franchise, which I am, believe me, and I was skeptical like most everybody else, even after the change that they made to the design on Sonic, which the original design looked absolutely terrible, with those small eyes and human hands, and believe me, they were right to change it and make it look more like the video game, and they did a great job. But even after the change, I still wasn't convinced that it was going to be a hit, and surprisingly it was. It was action-packed. Jim Carrey was a lot of fun. I mean, he stole the show in every scene that he was in. You could tell how much fun he was having there. And obviously it hinted a sequel with the mid-credit scene, which you saw, and can tell from this movie, Tails is going to be in it. And not only Tails is going to be in it, but also our main human character, James Marsden, who's best known as Cyclops in the, original X-Men movies. And of course Sonic himself, and Dr. Eggman is making a return. You knew he wasn't going to be gone for good. As well as the newest character, Knuckles. Yeah, kind of a rather twisted relationship with Sonic and Tails if you played the video game, so I'd be interested to see how this turns out. And it's also going to include the Chaos Emeralds. Yeah, now we're talking. So, let's hope this one does just as good, maybe not as good, at least entertaining and just as much fun. Number 8, Elvis. So far the working title of this movie, and yes, I know it was postponed from last year, and I don't have to fully explain the whole story with Tom Hanks and his wife Rita Wilson when they were doing this movie down in Australia and how they contracted COVID and thankfully recovered, so happy ending there. But yeah, this one sounds pretty interesting, the whole biological story. I'm not sure how much of it they're going to get in about Elvis Presley and his career and everything like that. Tom Hanks plays his manager, in case you're wondering, and Elvis, in case you're wondering, is played by the same actor who plays Tex from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So yeah, I think that's a good casting choice there, and I think this one will definitely pull the trick. I mean, I've listened to plenty of Elvis's music, even though he's been from before my time, but hey, some old music is just great. And I think this one will do fine, even though of course it's not the first movie about him, but hell, why not do another? It could still work. Number 7, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, the sequel to the 2018 Black Panther film, and, well, I don't think this is going to have the Black Panther in it, I'm assuming, because, well, unfortunately, you all know the sad news that happened last year with Chadwick Boseman, who sadly died at age 43 from cancer. May he rest in peace. But I guess they're going to probably pass the torch on. I can't imagine them casting another actor as him. I mean, it just wouldn't seem right. But I'm interested to see what more they can do. I mean, this city of Wakanda is enormous. and I'm sure there's plenty more that they can put in here, plenty more material, action, and so forth. So, you know Marvel, they usually know how to pull the magic hat trick, especially with the MCU. Number 6, Jurassic World Dominion. Yes, the, sixth one in the whole entire franchise, but the third one in the Jurassic World franchise. And if you saw the last one, I know it wasn't the best in the series, but it obviously was leading up to a sequel, and here it is, with all dinosaurs walking across America, and how people are adapting to living with them because they were set free out of that big mansion in California. So, yeah, this would definitely be a first time, even though, it's not the first time. We had a T-Rex in the second movie, The Lost World Jurassic Park, but this one is taking it to the next level. You have not only Jeff Goldblum making a return, but also Sam Neill and Laura Dern as both Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler from the original Jurassic Park movie, as well as the third one. Yeah. So let's hope they throw plenty of nostalgia in here, as well as some new material, some good dinosaur effects, action, come on. Dinosaurs can still be awesome, right? Supposedly they're going to have a new dinosaur that we probably haven't seen before. And yes, Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard and even the kid from the last one are going to make their return. So, let's keep dinosaurs awesome as ever. Number 5, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Yes, taking place after the events of Spider-Man No Way Home, in which Doctor Strange had a huge involvement with the plot of that movie. This one is strictly about him and another multiverse, obviously because it's in the title, and it involves him, of course, some returning cast members from the last Doctor Strange 2016 film, and some ones that you haven't seen in a Doctor Strange movie that happen to exist in the MCU, like Scarlet Witch has an involvement with this movie's plot, as well as a darker Doctor Strange. So yeah, I don't really know much, and it does look weird judging by the trailer, but hey, I didn't think much of the first movie before seeing it, but I enjoyed the hell out of it, and I'm hoping to do the same with this one.